Good evening, Juco Editz family, and welcome to Season 4, Episode 16 of the Juco Editz podcast. Tonight, I'm going to be joined by Los Angeles Dodgers minor league pitcher Will Maynard. Will, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, sir. How we doing?
I'm doing good, man. Okay, so how we're going to start off tonight's podcast is talk to me about playing at Klein Kane High School. Let's start with your junior year.
Okay. So my junior year of high school, that was going to be my first full year at Klein Kane. I had previously come from a private school down the road,
Okay,
um, and that was also going to be our first year with juniors. And the big talk of that year was obviously COVID.
right.
Um, so we were excited coming into the year. We were going to be a good team. Everybody was really balling. That's what you hear. Like, oh, my COVID year, I was having a crazy year. That's just how it goes. But we ended up having a good year. It got cut short, and toward the end of that year, going into summer ball, I had committed to Seminole State for the first time. Just around that COVID time, it was a little scary. A bunch of my teammates were thinking the same thing, like what's going to happen with recruiting. Um, but that junior year, it was a fun year. We had a really good team. We would have made playoffs easy and made a deep run. But yeah,
And a part of that team was someone also that I know, Vinny Sawmill, you know?
yep, yep.
Yep. I was getting ready to
That's one of
say,
my best friends right there.
yeah. So talk to me about playing with Vinny.
Man, we've been playing since 9.5, 10 years old. He's been my catcher since day one, really, since we started pitching. We just know each other. Like since we were 9 and 10, we've been calling the games. Like the coaches weren't even calling, and then getting to have him all throughout high school. I mean, we were hitting 3, 4 in the lineup, 2, 3 back to back, and then once a week we were on the mound and behind the plate together, and it was a dream. You get to hold on to a catcher for 10 plus years of your career. It's like a Clayton Kershaw, Austin Barnes type deal, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so next you go to Seminole State Community College, like you said. Can you
Mhm.
take me back a little bit? What was your recruitment like out of high school?
My timeline's a little shaky. You may not even know this, but that junior year, going into that summer, I had committed to Seminole, not
Okay.
knowing what was going to
Yep.
happen with recruiting. A couple months down the road in August, I end up having a crazy tournament. My Seminole coaches are out there to watch. A bunch of D1 schools are watching online. It's just like this big perfect game tournament.
Okay.
And I end up going low to mid 90s against the Canes. It was a big squad at the time.
Yeah.
I think they still are. Um, and after that, a bunch of schools came calling. I ended up settling with A&M, so I had to call my coaches at Seminole and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna try out this opportunity." Like, obviously,
Yeah.
like the point of going to Seminole is to get to the next level. So I was already going to the next level, and they completely understood. They were like, you still have a home here if anything were to happen." Obviously, that's great to have. Um, so then, whenever things really didn't work out at A&M, I called Mac Chambers. I was like, "Hey, I'm coming back. Like, I want to come. You got a spot for me?" And he was like, "Absolutely, Big Will. Come on. You're going to be my guy. Make sure you're in shape when you get here." And that's how I ended up at Seminole. I made a little pit stop in College Station. Didn't work out the way we wanted to, but that's a big reason why we're here today.
I gotcha. So next, let's talk about your JUCO career. 15 appearances. You went 1-3, 37.2 innings pitched, 6.93 ERA, 42 strikeouts, 1.59 WHIP. So there's a couple games I want you to talk to me about of your JUCO career. The first one is going to be way back in the fall. Is actually against my JUCO, September 3rd, 2023, Coffeyville.
Coffeyville, where did we play them at? We played them twice in that fall. We played them at
Right.
UCO once. I don't think we played them. I don't think I pitched in that one. I want to say I pitched against them in Kansas.
Okay. Yep.
Joplin
In
in
Coffeyville.
Joplin.
No, in
Uh,
Coffeyville.
oh, was it?
Yep. In
Um,
Coffeyville.
Let me think. I remember that fall. That's the only reason like I was ever even looked at out of Seminole because you read those stats off and I kind of cringed. I mean, did not have a good freshman year, but that Coffeyville game, I think we were only going 2 or 3 innings in the fall. I think that one might have been a two inning outing. If I can remember it correctly, I want to say I punched out 2 or 3. But it was really just to get work ready for the spring. Just a little tune-up, just like every other fall game was. But I remember Coffeyville; they were always scrappy. We played them freshman year as well. Um, Always a good squad, but I'm sure I went out there and handled business.
Next one is Crowder.
That was my freshman year, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a tough place to pitch. It was nice and cold. Missouri is a brutal place, I'll be honest. It was a brutal bus ride because those JUCO bus rides are those are rough.
Right.
Going out to Missouri, it was freezing cold. It was one of my like probably like my fifth or sixth appearance on the year. And it was a tough one. I think I started out good. I think I had two outs in the inning that I had been in, and then I ended up falling apart, which obviously hurt those stats that you read off. But Crowder's always a good team, and when we were sophomores, obviously I wasn't playing because I had TJ, but that's who we played in the Super Regional. Um, they're always going to be a good squad.
Cloud.
Now that's a good outing. This is one I always talk about with Vinny because he was catching me that game.
Yep.
They were throwing this left-handed Canadian kid who was a baller. Let me tell you. So it was a fun game to be a part of. It was the last game of the night. Lights were on. I want to say I think I went 4 innings. Um, some punchies here and there. That was at UCO as well. That was a good weekend. We definitely went home and celebrated after that one.
I can actually tell you who that was as well, if you'll give me 1 second.
I would like to know that.
That was Scooter Rengett. He's
Hmm.
pitching at Washington State.
Makes sense. That's a good
Yep.
good spot. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, he
Okay.
was he was a baller.
Next one is going to be NOC Enid.
That was a good game as well. I can't remember what the city's called down there. But we played.
Tonqua. Oh wait.
Yep,
Yep.
I think so. I want to say I went 4 or 5 innings in that one as well. That was a cold night. That was a night game. Um, that was kind of like a round robin type thing. I want to say like 3 or 4 teams showed up.
Yep.
Um, so we were the last game, so I was sitting all day, so I was a little tired. Just chilling in the bullpen with the guys. They were a good squad too, man, because that was where they played at home. So there was actually a couple of people there like watching. They had a velo board there. I remember that. So the whole dugout was pretty pumped up that I was throwing there. Because we only had like 2 or 3 guys my freshman year that could hit 90 and above, and I was one of them. So they were always excited to see a guy go out there and pump.
Okay. These next three you're gonna remember very well. NEO.
Yeah, I think I pitched against him like 6 or 7 times. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a really funny one. I ended up coming in and closing a game against them. Um, I think we sat for like 15, 20 minutes maybe. And
Man.
because we were finishing a game that had gotten rained out earlier. And my coach comes down whenever I'm getting ready to close. He comes down, he's like, "Are you going to be able to start the next one? It'll be like a 15, 30-minute break." And I was like, "Yeah, but I can do that. I'll just have to throw again." Ended up closing the game and then going to the next one, and I get shelled. It was
Oh,
bad. Well, it wasn't necessarily shelled. It was kind of like a walk here,
yeah.
base hit, walk, walk, then another base hit, and it was just done from there. And he pulled me out of that first inning. He was like, "Man, you told me you can close and start." I was like, "I'm sorry, coach. I thought I had it, especially after closing clean. I was
Yeah.
confident."
Okay, Western Oklahoma State.
Hmm. They were tough. I think I pitched against them in regular season my freshman year and in the fall my sophomore year. The one in my freshman year, that was my second start, I believe, maybe my first. Um, they're always a good school out of Oklahoma as well. One of the few. I want to say I went 2 or 3 innings against them. They were solid. I think I made a really good diving play against them too. It was like a in-betweener in between me and the first baseman, and
Okay.
he came to come get the ground ball, and I grabbed it, and I had to dive at first base to beat the runner. It was sick.
Okay, this last one, Connor State.
We do not like Connor State
I
around here.
know.
That's our biggest rival. That's our
Yep.
biggest conference rival. Connor State, man, I've got some clips against them, bouncing off the mound, yelling at them, screaming at them. They were always good when I was there. I mean, they had a kid hit, I think 26 or 27 pumps. Sochronic was his last name, a catcher.
Yeah.
Gosh. They had another kid, Matthias. I came in the close my freshman year against them, and he hit a line drive right to my third baseman, and my heart skipped a beat. I was like, oh my gosh, I just lost the game. But I think I've always had clean outings against Connors, so I've got good history with them. But boo.
Boo. Okay, this next one. Talk to me about playing your final JUCO game.
Well, it's a little bit of a tough one. My final JUCO game comes whenever I was blowing my arm out. It was against Murray State. Also, boo, that's our biggest rival out of conference for sure. We do not like those guys. Um, it was a tough one. Parents and grandparents were there to see after a great fall. Had just decommitted from Wichita State and committed to Houston. Um, so had a bunch of guys watching from Houston, I'm sure, on the live stream. Everybody was had big hopes. They thought it was going to be our year, especially with me the way I was throwing. And then come out in the first inning, about 5 or 6 pitches go by, and I'm grabbing my elbow and
Oh,
I'm telling coach, I'm like, I can finish the inning. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to get you my 3 or 4 because we were still going to be on a pitch count
yeah.
beginning of the year.
Yep.
Um, and I'm grabbing my elbow, and he's like, "Man, I'll take you out right now if you need to. I can get somebody up." And I was like, "No, I'll just go ahead and finish the inning." Threw about 15 more pitches, about 3 more fastballs. I had to rip some sliders because that was the only thing I couldn't feel. If I
Yeah.
was throwing a fastball, I was coming up, grimacing. It was ugly, but we ended up losing that game. That was the last game I played in at Seminole, and then I became their PA announcer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, talk to me. Like you said a little bit, you were committed to Houston.
hmm
So, can you talk to me about how it eventually ended up with you signing with the Dodgers?
So that fall, that sophomore year fall, was a really good one for me. I want to say I threw about 30 innings and gave up only like 3 hits. Um, no runs. I had like 40 plus strikeouts. It was just a great fall. And I think I caught a bunch of eyes. A bunch of schools were coming out to see me. A bunch of offers were coming in. A bunch of visits were getting scheduled. And I think the Dodgers saw that after I had, even though they knew I blew my arm out, they knew some schools or some other teams might still come after me. So they tried to get me in the draft and then ended up picking some other guys in front of me and then signed me to a free agent deal.
Okay, next, talk to me about spring training with the Dodgers.
And spring training it depends how you look at it. It is stressful, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. You got every team there in one locker room, just split up a little bit. You're getting to work with guys who've been in the minors 4, 5, 6, even 7 or 8 years. Um, it's crazy. It's an arm farm, man. You see guys just like 2, 3 days in the spring training in their first bullpens, 97, 98, and you're just like, what did I do all off season? Like, why is this guy already like in mid-season form? But I mean, it doesn't get any better. They know how to get you primed and ready for the season. They know how to keep you healthy and make sure you're going to be able to play all season long.
Talk to me about seeing Otani for the first time.
I still haven't been able to like shake his hand or say hi to him yet, which is a bummer. But I've been able to stand within like 15 feet of him, which is enough for me right now.
Okay.
But he is much bigger than I thought. I mean, I'm not too small of a guy. I'm 6'3",
Yeah.
but he's I think they have him listed at 6'4". I want to say he's at least 6'5.5", 6'6", pushing at least in
Man.
cleats.
Man. Okay, next, talk to me about playing in the ACL.
ACL is a fun time. I'm glad I was able to do my time in there. A lot of guys look at it, may look down on it. But I think it's a good spot for guys like me. I only got a year and a fall of college baseball. Like it's like a high schooler almost coming out of the draft. You know, he's got to get a taste of pro ball. So being able to go in there, not have too much stress. No, you're not. like going to cost your team a playoff spot or like it's not, it doesn't really matter in the ACL. It's all about development. So
Right.
just being able to go out there and be me and do what I've been working on, it was a blessing.
Okay, next talk to me about single A.
Low A was it was a good start, man. I want to say I had a 0 ERA through about 15 or 16 innings in pro ball, counting the ACL, and I threw three scoreless outings in low A before giving up a run. And I mean, so this is kind of funny. The first week I get there, I'm not quite activated on the roster yet, and they still send me down to go get hot.
Yeah.
That happens, and then the next day I get food poisoning. So
Oh,
I'm out for the next like 2 or 3 days. And then we have to go on like a 4 hour road trip to Fresno. And
okay.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna play. Like I'm not gonna be able to go. I'm not gonna go on the road trip. Like I'm messed up. I ended up going to the ER and get patched up and all that. Go on the road trip, and then second game of that next road trip, I get my first outing, and it's a clean one. And then later on in that series, another clean outing. And then I think it was my third or fourth outing that I got two outs, two quick outs, and then walked a guy, and then gave up a base knock to right, and then gave up a 3 run Jimmy. Man, I was pissed because I was thinking
Mhm.
like, man, I'm gonna have a clean first year pro ball, like no stress going into year two, and then that happened, and then but it's all right, it's part of the game.
Right. Okay, so 2025, you played in 14 games. You went 1-2 with a 5.52 ERA, 14.2 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, and a 1.98 whip. Okay, so now I want to talk to you next about what are the lessons that you learned from this past season and what are your expectations going into 2026?
Going into 2026, I just want to be like a go-to guy at the pen. Like whenever they're thinking, like when we're in a tight situation, or like, who do we go here? It's just like Maynard, let's go. Let's get him hot. He'll get us out of this, whether it's one out, whether it's a whole inning, whether it's 2 innings. I don't care. I just want to be one of those guys, because I can imagine that feels good. I used to be one of those guys in school. I want to be that guy in pro ball. I want to make sure I stay healthy. I want to make sure I put on a little bit more weight. Some lessons I learned were to not let one game determine the next. One of my teammates, Cody, he helped me out a lot. He's a guy that you may need to talk to if you're familiar with him, Cody Morse. He went to Weatherford,
Oh, okay.
and he's right down the road from me and Katie, so we're boys. But back on track, some lessons, or the one of the main lessons I learned was to not let one game determine the other. Like after I gave up that 3 run bomb, kind of let it roll into the next one. I was pissed about my stats. It was all like me, me, me. Like I didn't really care about anything else but my stats. And then in the next game, I go out and like walk the house pretty much, which is just not what you want to do for your guys. But that's going to be a big change for me. I know I can do it. I mean, I've been hit before. I've walked people before. It's just something I got to get over.
Okay, this next one. Welcome to Juco and welcome to the minor story.
Okay, I might have to think about this one for a second. Not my JUCO story.
Okay.
That one's easy.
Okay.
Um, we'll start off with the JUCO one. So we're all 18. Some of us 17. No 17-year-olds. 18 to 20.
Okay.
A couple 21-year-olds sprinkled in there in their third year from COVID, whatnot. I want to say it's like a Friday, maybe even a Saturday, and we're just doing normal college guy things. It's a Saturday night. Maybe some football was on or something. I can't quite. Yeah, football was on. That's what we were doing. We were watching football, and we get a text in the team group chat, obviously from our head coach that says, "Be up to the field in 5 minutes or whatever." It was like 5-10 minutes, and we're all. It's like it's hard to explain, but it's one big circle. The dorms are one big circle, and
Okay, yeah.
everybody's room is right next to each other. It's like a hotel, pretty
Yeah.
much, and everybody's like doing their thing. People are having drinks, doing what they do. Like it's just normal college guy stuff. We can't get in trouble anymore, so that's the only reason I'm saying this.
Right.
But we get a text says, "Come to the field. You got to be here in 5 to 10 minutes." And it says that he's still typing in the group chat, and then it sends a picture from our like president, and it's like pictures of like us like lugging up beers on the cameras on. It's just like it's bad. There's like a bunch of proof that we were drinking and stuff. Like it was bad. So we have to go to the field, and it was like midnight at the time. Our coach drives 30 minutes from his house to get there, and he makes us run for about 2.5 hours. I mean, this was like 2 weeks into me being a Seminole too. It was, it was not pretty.
That's brutal.
That Miners one might be that home run that I was just telling you about.
Okay.
I want to say if it didn't have to be like an in-game situation, then I would say maybe just like running into a couple big leaguers around the facility because whenever you come in with the Dodgers, like especially pitchers, if you're early into your rehab, you'll just go straight to the major league side and deal with those
Okay.
guys, deal with that rehab. So you get to run into a bunch of cool guys. I mean, on my first day, I see Tony Gonsolin, Dustin May, Walker Bueller, like just all the guys that were hurt in that 23 season. They were in Arizona getting right, and I got to bump into them, and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" Like, just treat me like a normal guy. And like 3 days earlier, I was like, "I'm in pro ball." Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Wow, man. That's crazy. Yeah, I will say Walker Bueller's one of my favorite pitchers because we have the same birthday.
Oh
So,
wow.
yep, July 28th. So, yep. Um, and fun fact, I was actually born a year before you.
Oh, are you older than me?
Yep. By
Dang, you got Vinny's July 18th.
yep.
Yep, you got him by a year.
Yep. Okay, so this next one, I want you to talk to me about your JUCO bus ride stories.
Man, I'll be honest, I was kind of that guy that would bring his own pillow and sprawl out on the floor on the bus. But there's some funny ones. I'll be honest, or I'm very lucky that I was not a part of any tire. We had some flat tires happen or some blown up tires.
Yeah.
Um, and I want to say we had like two or three of those. Uh, and I wasn't on any of them because like if you like pitched or you have class and you're not going to throw, you just don't have to go. So luckily I wasn't a part of that, but I do have a funny bus story, and it's actually me and Vinny we missed it. We missed the bus.
Oh.
So at Seminole in the fall, it's to make money for the team. You have to go work security for the OU games.
Yeah.
So whenever you see those bright yellow shirts on TV, that's us. Uh, we ended up missing it. The bus usually left at like it depended what time the game was at, but we usually left in the morning. And we missed it. We called coach, and he was like, "Y'all are fine. Just get in your car and drive up here." We ended up going grabbing a good breakfast and setting ourselves up for a good day. And then we get there, and C doesn't even make us work. We were just chilling for the rest of the day. He didn't even care.
Wow.
Yep.
That's wow. Okay. Next one. Toughest lineup faced in JUCO and the minors.
If we could be technical about the lineup faced because I mean I faced like a good Sanjak squad. Um, Weatherford was a really good squad. Crowder. If you want to say like which one did I struggle against the most, I want to say Crowder was really tough.
Okay.
Because I think I had my way with both Weatherford and Sanjak. Um, Crowder was good. I think it's got to be Crowder. Crowder was the toughest matchup of JUCO for sure. Miners, that Modesto team, that's the Mariners
Yeah.
single A. They know they sit fastball. They if you don't have two or three pitches in the zone, they were going to punish your fastball no matter what kind of fastball it was, whether it was 100, 92, ride, cut, it didn't matter. They were looking for
Man.
it. They were going to hit it.
Okay, then next, favorite JUCO places that you played at and the minors.
Miners is tough because those Cal League fields get beautiful. I mean, especially with like sunsets, mountains, and palm trees in the background, you can't ask for more. I mean, I'll say the Rancho Cucamonga field was my favorite, to be honest. It was beautiful. You had a mountain pretty far in the background that you could still see, and then really tall trees right behind the fence. It was beautiful. Juco, I got to shout out our new facility, the BCM Sportsplex, the all turf place. That place was fun. The mound was huge. I feel like I always was throwing heat on it. Um, Enid, when we played Enid, I think you said it was in Tonkawa.
Yeah, in
That
Tonkawa.
was that was a cool place. UCO was cool, but yeah, I'll stay at home for JUCO, or actually for both. I'll say both my home fields were my favorites.
Okay, this next one. What is one thing to expect on the minor league level?
See, that's a tricky question because you kind of can't really have any expectations. Like you're gonna have so much thrown at you, especially when you're a bullpen guy. Um, I guess what you can expect is that you're going to throw multiple times a week, so you have to be ready for it. You have to expect that it's going to be a long road for some people. Um, you just have to be ready for your opportunity and be the right guy in the right spot.
What is one thing you do to get out of a slump?
Hmm. I don't know if I can answer that one no, I'm just kidding. Um, I'd like to use my resources, and by resources I mean like coaches and staff. Like they're the I think it's third eye in the sky. Is that what it's called? Is that what you say?
Yep.
They've got all the tools. They see all of the data. They've got all the video. They're looking at you while you're actually doing it. So that and some teammates that I've grown close with, that we'll sit there in the hotel room on a road trip and break down our mechanics and see what was different between one outing and the other. Uh, but yeah, that's it. I just use the people around me. That's what they're there for.
What's the biggest thing you noticed transitioning from JUCO to the minors?
It's a really big jump. JUCO, I would say until you get it to about double A, it's really all about development. Double A, triple A, you want to start winning, proving that you can be a winning ball club and transfer into the league. JUCO, you're trying to put a good season together. You're trying to win every single game that you can. You're trying to get to junction. There's an end goal in mind. Um, so you're playing against everybody's best, especially at Seminole. Like we were, we were those guys that everybody wanted to beat, and so we would see everybody's one or two. We would see everybody's best lineup. But in the minors, you'll see somebody's best hitter not playing 2 out of the 6 games just because they got to get some other guy reps. Or you'll see a back end bullpen guy get 2 or 3 outings in a week just because he needed to get those in. So I would say that's the biggest difference is just the level. It's not obviously the level of competition's higher in the minors, but it's not about winning totally.
Okay, talk to me about what's it like playing in the minors?
It's fun. It's everything I ever wanted. I mean, you still get that feeling whenever you feel like a big leaguer every once in a while. Like walk into the field, the facility, and it smells like popcorn. You hear you can hear the chatter from the crowd. Like it's a beautiful thing. Like you don't have the stress of being a big leaguer, but you still get the feeling of like being a professional baseball player, and you get people to come out to your games, and you get to sign balls for little kids, and like you get to do all the fun stuff. It's a dream.
What are some of your favorite things about JUCO?
How tight of a team you have to be good. And I want to say, even though we weren't one of the top teams or we didn't make it super far, we were one of the tightest teams that I've ever been on, including high school and all of that stuff. I mean, when you're living next door to your entire team or on one floor taking over a dorm, you're kind of forced to. Those long bus rides, like six, I mean, it's kind of like the minors, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours across the country to go play a team. You gotta be tight with your guys. So that brotherhood for sure.
Okay, next I'm going to ask you some topics and I want to know your thoughts on them. The first one is what is your thoughts on NIL and players having agents?
I think it might be a little bit too much. I don't think they quite have the grasp on it that they thought they would. I think it's gotten a little out of control. I might be a little bit biased because when I left A&M is whenever it really started to pop off. But I think if the NIL really was all what it was, that it's pretty obvious that I would have went to school and tried to make some money there and then gone to pro ball. But after getting it down broken down to me about what it actually was and what it actually consisted of, I wasn't super interested in it. I just wanted to go ahead and get in professional baseball.
Okay, next one. What is your thoughts on the transfer portal? And then what's your thoughts on the extra year eligibility rule? So if you're a senior, you get granted this year or denied your extra year.
I'm not exactly sure what goes into the approval or denial of an extra year. Maybe like I know a couple of my guys have like missed like half of a year and gotten their year back, which is completely fine with me. I would, I would want my year, of course. Say I got Tommy John halfway through my sophomore year, I would have loved for my full year to be reimbursed. Um, Transfer portal. I was a member of it for a second. It's a stressful time in there too because you've got to as soon as your name is entered, you've got people who are paid to sit there and scroll through the transfer portal as soon as it opens. And I was getting calls and emails and texts from coaches all over the country from schools I've never even heard of. And I was just like, how am I supposed to even get in touch with you? Like, if everybody's calling me at the same time.
Okay, so Will, next, out of your career, what coach means the most to you and what team means the most to you that you've ever been a part of?
Hmm. I'm really tight with Coach Mac Chambers at Seminole. He got me out of a dark place coming from A&M. It was a tough time. Grades weren't in a good spot. My mental wasn't in a good spot, and he pulled me out of it. He helped me. He checked on me. He was extra hard on me to make sure that I was going to do the right things. Um, a team that means the most to me. Um, I mean, that second year Seminole team does mean a lot to me just because the talk of it is how good we could have been. Um, had we, it's not necessarily me not getting hurt, but just had everything clicked, what we could have been. But also that 2021 Klein Kane baseball team that I still got best friends from that team.
Okay, what is your thoughts on the pitch clock?
It's something I struggle with. It's something I really had to get used to, especially being injured as soon as it was implemented and everything. So I had to get used to it right after getting out of rehab. And it really in the back half of my rehab, we started incorporating it in some bullpens and stuff, some live ABs. Um, I'm not a huge fan of it. I want to say if a pitcher wants to work fast, he'll work fast. Or like if you find pitchers saying that they like it, that they would have been working fast in the first place, which nobody really was. Everybody was taking their time. Um, I think it's a hitter's advantage because it takes the thinking out of it. It's just like, oh, get back in the box, find your pitch, hit it. When back in the day, it used to be like a good 30 seconds. Oh, what is he going to
Right.
throw me here? What's the situation? It just takes a little bit from the game, I think.
Okay, the last three for you is what is your walkout song?
It's kind of tough. I changed it. One of the one I had in low A was "The Way I Are" by Timbaland.
Okay.
It's a good one. I've been wanting to do some Latin, man. I love that Latin music that obviously in pro ball you're surrounded by a bunch of guys from different countries. So
Yes.
you get to hear a bunch of different music and I love all of it. And I just don't want to be judged for it. I hope like people in the stands are like, who's this white guy coming out to Bad Bunny and El Alpha? Like, what is this? Like I was- I think it could be fire. I think it could be fun.
Okay, these last two, with you taking the JUCO route, do you think it's changed your life in the good way?
Absolutely. I think um being an 18-year-old kid walking on such a big campus at A&M, I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't ready. But being able to go to Seminole, still being that same kid, and being able to adjust so much just because of the environment. And I mean, it was just school and baseball. You were in the middle of Oklahoma. You had to drive an hour to go do anything really, like Oklahoma City, Norman, anything. So just being able to hunker down there and Coach Mack really just being on my tail the whole time, it changed. It did really change my life forever, baseball and non-baseball.
So another one that I thought of for you is how do you deal with criticism from like haters and etc.
You kind of just gotta kind of think about who you are. Like if you've got somebody that's trying to make look down on you or make fun of you, you got to be doing something right. Because it's a fact that the hate comes from your jealousy, greed, or like you've got something that they want. You're somebody that they want to be. That's it's hard to let it go, like especially like stuff that you see like online. Like something was posted of me my first outing ever in pro baseball. I was like, this kid is like, someone feed him, like he looks super skinny, this that the third, all about my weight and how I didn't look ready. And I was just like, I was explaining to them like, hey, obviously they didn't know this about me, but I explained it to them. I was like, hey, I've been all the way up to 210 pounds. Like, I know what it's like to pitch at this weight. I know what it's like to pitch at this weight. I'm
Yeah,
obviously at this weight because it helps me perform better. So
right.
you kind of have to think about like the haters. They don't know anything. They're not you. So you just got to think about you and just be you.
What is your why in baseball?
I have a couple of answers. Obviously, I think a lot of people's is their family. I want to put my family in a better spot one day. I want to, and here in about 5 years, get on one of those contracts in the big leagues and be able to tell my parents like, hey, y'all don't have to work anymore. Like you're good. I got you a house that's paid for, paid off your cars. Like you're good. Another why is like I had so many coaches growing up that were so invested in me. Um, I'm not saying that I grew up in a bad area or that my parents aren't great people, but didn't have all the facilities to give me to play like travel baseball, or all these other things. So a couple of coaches stepped in, were like, "Hey, he can stay with us this weekend, or we'll pay for y'all's hotel room this weekend." And it kept propelling my career, and just so many people contributed to my career that's also my why. I want to do it for them.
Okay, my next question for you is what made you ultimately decide on taking the option with the Dodgers over deciding to go to college?
It's kind of just like that foot in the door mentality. I've
Uh-huh.
always it's you can play this both ways. Like I was betting on myself, and you can play that both ways. But you can bet on yourself and go to school and say I'm going to get signed after I go to school, or you can say I'm betting on myself. I'm going to go into pro ball and dominate. And that's the route I took. I said I want that's all I've ever wanted was to play professional baseball. So when that opportunity came across, I said absolutely, and it was the easiest decision I've ever made.
All right. Well, Will, I really appreciate you for your time tonight, man, and I look forward to watching your career with the Dodgers, man. Best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
No problem, man. Have a great night.
Yes, sir. You too.